Is safety really the responsibility of only the safety department? What do you do when you run up against that attitude, especially from frontline supervisors who already feel overwhelmed with stuff to look after? Well, ideas and strategies are coming up.
PeopleWork, the human touch in workplace safety. Available everywhere on Amazon. To learn more, go to kevburns.com/peoplework.
It's not unusual to hear from safety professionals that they still run into resistance from some members of the supervisory staff or even upper management that safety is the responsibility of the safety person. Now, I will offer a caveat that most of this opinion's usually centered around who does the paperwork, who fills out the forms, who handles the reporting procedures. Nobody likes doing paperwork, and people hate having to do more of it. While there are paperwork requirements associated with safety, some supervisors and foremen still want the safety people to handle the safety conversations or to apply the rules. And I get it. A new or not well-trained supervisor may just not have the managerial skill set to have those tough conversations. Sometimes supervisors want to seem buddy-buddy with their crews since it's likely that the supervisor was a crew member not that long ago, and he or she can recall how they disliked being told about safety then. Regardless, there are far too many people who still believe that safety is the responsibility of the safety department. Now that comes from not fully integrating safety into how we train our people, supervisors included. There are still too many workplaces that separate production and safety and treat safety rules as an add-on to the existing procedures. See, nobody wants to be the bad guy. Nobody in a supervisory position wants to be the person who's seen as the enforcer of the rules, who has to correct a behavior, or to step in and have a difficult conversation about safety procedures. Any person in a supervisory position wants their crews to be tight and to work together. They don't want to create any discord or any animosity between the employees and a supervisor. They want to give that responsibility to the safety guy. See, they think the safety person should be responsible for completing the forms and the paperwork, the interventions and observations, and making sure that employees are wearing their PPE. But now let's take on that real complaint about the safety person being responsible for safety. And the real complaint is the paperwork. Let's take that same rationale and apply it to other examples. Let's start with football. Now, picture a fumble on the field. The defensive tackle swoops up the fumbled football, runs all the way downfield, and stops short of the goal line because it's the running back's responsibility to score touchdowns. Or the camper who walks right by someone else's smoldering abandoned campfire because it wasn't his fire. The office clerk who ignores the ringing phone because dealing with customers is the responsibility of the customer service department. Or the car salesman who says nothing about the fluids coming from under a customer's car after a service because that's the mechanic's responsibility. You see how ridiculous the argument that safety is one person's job is? Is it only the HR department responsible for identifying harassment and bullying? Is it only the responsibility of the managers to make sure people treat each other with respect and courtesy? So why would safety be the exclusive responsibility of only the safety department then? Everything at work is a shared responsibility. If your employer chose not to protect you as a worker, you wouldn't go along with that. You wouldn't knowingly put yourself in harm's way. You'd make the right choice to protect yourself and your family's best interest regardless of what your employer does. So it's not anyone else's responsibility to look out for your safety. Nor is it someone else's responsibility to complete the forms and the safety reports that come from and refer to your crew. And you shouldn't be standing around waiting for someone else to intervene when you can clearly see an incident about to happen. Safety is a shared responsibility. It's not exclusive to one person. Every person on the job site is responsible for their own safety and the safety of those around them. So how about we drive that idea home as often as we can? Here are 3 things you can do at toolbox and tailgate meetings or your crew huddles to improve the level of personal responsibility on your job site. Number 1, ask, what do the words accountability and responsibility mean to you? Now, open up the discussion in your huddle. Ask the members of your crew to talk about accountability, what it means to them, how they'd show it on the job. The same for responsibility. Task them with discussing what each would look like in a specific incident. Talk about responsibility and accountability in reporting, in JHAs, teamwork. Help them see it by letting them discover it for themselves. Number 1, ask, what do the words accountability and responsibility mean to you? Then number 2, ask, what's the best thing that we do in safety in this company? This question forces crew members to think about the things that both they and the company are doing right. It's a positive reinforcement of the safety program. Ask how you're doing as far as accountability and responsibility are concerned, and then follow it up with what things could use a little extra focus and attention. Number 2, what's the best thing we do in safety in this company? And then number 3, ask what's the one thing that would prevent you from working safely? Now, this is a management communications technique to flush out misconceptions and misunderstandings. Ask what would get in the way of working safely and figure out any possible reasons and excuses. This discussion, by the way, can go 2 ways depending on the safety culture. Now, if the culture is an us versus them culture, this could end up in a blame discussion against management. But if there's a teamwork culture, which I suspect most places have, you'll uncover mental barriers to choosing safety in the moment. You need honesty to carry this one off, but when you do, the crew culture will improve as a result. Number 3, ask, what's the one thing that would prevent you from working safely? Just a few ideas for your next toolbox, your tailgate, or crew huddle. But here's not why we want to have conversations like this. We have to stop the drive-by safety culture. Our people shouldn't be spectators in safety meetings. They need to be active participants. So get them involved, ask questions, have discussions, and listen to the answers. Deal immediately with the misinformation and attitudes, but stop allowing people to be spectators in safety and insisting that others are more responsible. Encourage everyone to be a big part of the safety program. Be actively involved, be accountable, and most of all, be a team player.